concerns that this deal is really, there's a lot of political back and forth about it. And I think a lot of people in the room here feel as I do that the city would want to not be coming down the line because it would allow
for at least 10 years.
okay. But I think they want their property. Yeah.
Absolutely.
As a theater or something else?
A parking lot.
As something else.
No, I never.
They had plans to turn it over to a developer.
No, did you? No, I do not believe. I think that the city was in favor of helping the center because it's a great historic theater, and we love to have it here. But it just has not been possible for whatever reason. And I think that the city has tried to do all that it could to preserve it. I just felt that we were doing a little too much with the last $250,000.
Community development, this is a huge part of the development of this community. When I bought my house years ago and this place was on the rebuild, this was one of the anchors I saw that gave me faith in making that investment. So what I want to ask, I want to know from the state perspective, what can be done to ensure, whether it be zoning laws or whatever, that when it does transfer ownership, that it remains this? Is there any sort of, not necessarily guarantee, but a way for political pressure or whatever so that this remains what it is, no matter who owns it?
It's actually city in terms of zoning permits, but
That's where I was going.
right. No, it's actually a city question in terms because it's local because of the zoning and permitting process.
You don't
And
want
it
it
can,
to be a parking lot.
I
You don't want it to be a parking lot or the
that's on Argonne and Hartford.
You don't want it to look like the Mayfair either.
I know. And I'm sorry, you had a question of Controller Pratt.
The first
Let me get because with all of I kind of forgot about you. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
We don't want it to sit like the Mayfair also. But what I want to do is, Larry is the attorney who structured the deal and looked at the agreements. And so, Larry, could you come up and give the specifics?
What's Larry?
My name is Larry Jenkins. I'm with the City Solicitor's Office, and I've been reviewing, the various documents and have become very familiar with the Senator Theater's financial structure within the last couple months. Going back, to 2003, which was when the first Mariner loan was made, as Controller Pratt said, the loan was for about $1,200,000. That basically paid back the Able Foundation, which had lent money in 1999, and gave it, money to renovate this theater as well as some things that were going on at the Rotunda. At that time, the city guaranteed roughly half of that loan of $600,000. First Mariner would have made the loan unless there was the guarantee. In addition to the guarantee that the city made, Mr. Kiefhofer also had to pledge other assets which have been mentioned. Can you give me your question again? Just
The basic question.
zoning. Okay, all right. It's zoning. Whoever buys at the auction, assuming the city could purchase at the auction as well, is going to be confined by what the zoning laws are for this particular area. But this building does have historic designation. The exterior has been designated some time back, and it recently had interior designation, which still has a ways, to go. There are people that like that designation and people that don't. But that's going to help preserve the building as a theater. But the zoning laws are going to dictate what its use is going to be. I don't know whether this is a B3-2 or I'm not sure what it is. B2-2. And whatever the uses are. But again, the fact that there's a historic designation of the property, the exterior is going to have to remain the same, and certain aspects of the interior are going to have to remain the same. So it's not going to be a parking lot.
If I may just redirect this for a moment.
Sure.
It's just, things like this, there's so few of them left, and I'm a fiscal concern, so I don't want to see money going just everywhere too, but this is such a unique part of the cultural identity of the city, and it's one of the only things left. not just
You'll hear from EDC later, hopefully, that we wanted to stay a theater. We wanted to stay a theater, but how do you run an establishment with no money? That's
We've been doing it for 20 years. We've been doing a beautiful job of it for 20 years.
But you've been doing it for 20 years with the help of the state and the city.
No.
With the help of the state.
Very well.
Help of the state. Not for $1.
In 1999, the city...
That was $180,000.
Okay, well, 10 years ago.
Essentially, I think it's important that people understand.
I think it's important as we go here to the Green Light. I just want to clarify some of these issues. Usually I start out and people come to the studio, but some of them trying to sell myself. As I mentioned before, I think the city's doing a wise thing in this way, but I also think that people really are misinformed with regards to the investment that has been made in this intersection and with regards to the city. I just want to clarify something. The $180,000 that each day referred to as a loan was a grant. It was raised by the Able Foundation when my funding was with them, and this theater's mortgage was with them. And it went to replace the air conditioning. That was in 1999. As most of you know, this theater in this area went through a very difficult period when Belvedere Square was empty for approximately 12 years. A lot of the debt we're talking about came through was accrued during that period. And the theater played an important role in keeping this intersection alive so that it could be a Belvedere Square to be recovered. The city is not the same. When it comes to the city, I think it's important to understand that in the past 10 years, there's been an approximate, I don't know if it's the city state and how it breaks out, but between the city and state, there's been approximately a $5 million investment across the street. And the city of Baltimore, to the best of my knowledge, has not put $1 into the Senator Theater's operation in 10 years. This is a very significant 10 years. So it's kind of a lopsided investment, and I don't necessarily begrudge them. I just think it's important that we clarify the situation.